Today we're going to be flying the Vought F4U Corsair. It was an American fighter aircraft that saw service primarily in World War II and the Korean War. Designed and initially manufactured by Chance Vought, the Corsair was soon in great demand. Additional production contracts were given to Goodyear, whose Corsairs were designated FG, and Brewster designation F3A. The Corsair was designed and primarily operated as a carrier-based aircraft, and it entered service in large numbers with the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps in World War II. It quickly became one of the most capable carrier-based fighter-bombers of the war. Some Japanese pilots regarded it as most formidable American fighter, and the U.S. Navy aviators quickly achieved an 11-to-1 kill ratio. Early problems with the carrier landings and logistics led to it being eclipsed as the dominant air carrier-based fighter by the Grumman F6F Hellcat, powered by the same double Wasp engine first flown on the Corsair's initial prototype in 1940. The Corsair served almost exclusively as a fighter bomber throughout the Korean War and during the French colonial wars in Indochina and Algeria. In addition to its use by the US and British, the Corsair was also used by the Royal New Zealand Air Force, the French Naval Aviation, and other air forces until the 1960s. From the first prototype delivered to the U.S. Navy in 1940 to the final delivery to the French in 1953, 12,571 F4U Corsairs were manufactured in 16 separate models. Its 1942 to 1953 production run was the longest of any U.S. piston engine fighter. The development. In February 1938, the U.S. Navy Bureau of Aeronautics published two requests for proposals for twin-engine and single-engine fighters. For the single-engine fighter, the Navy requested a maximum obtainable speed and a minimum stall speed not higher than 70 miles per hour, and a range of 1,000 miles was specified. The fighter had to carry 4 guns, 3 with increased ammunition. Provisions had to be made for the anti-aircraft bombs to be carried in the wing. These small bombs would, according to thinking in the 1930s, be dropped on enemy aircraft formations. On the 1st of October 1940, the FX-4U-1 became the first single-engine U.S. fighter to fly faster than 400 miles per hour by flying at an average ground speed of 405 miles per hour from Stanford to Hartford. The USAAC's twin-engine Lockheed P-38 Lightning had flown over 400 miles per hour in January through February 1939. The FX-4U-1 also had an excellent rate of climb, although testing revealed some requirements would have to be rewritten. In full-power dive tests, speeds up to 550 miles per hour were achieved, but not without damage to the control surfaces and access panels, and in one case, an engine failure. The spin recovery standards also had to be relaxed, as recovery from the required 2-turn spin provided impossible without resorting to anti-spin chute. The problems clearly meant delays in getting the design into production. Reports coming back from the war in Europe indicated the armaments of 2 30-inch synchronized engine cowling mounted machine guns and 2 50-inch machine guns was insignificant. The U.S. Navy November 1940 production proposal specified heavier armaments. The increased armament comprised 3 50-cal machine guns mounted in each wing panel. This improvement greatly increased the ability for the Corsair to shoot down enemy aircraft. Formal U.S. Navy acceptance trials for the XF-4U-1 began in February 1941. The Navy entered into a letter of intent on March 3, 1941, received Vought's production proposal on the 2nd of April, and awarded Vought a contract for 584 F4U-1 fighters, which were given the name Corsair. Inherited from the firm's late 1920s Vought O2U Naval Biplane Scout, which had first borne the name on January 30th of the same year. The first production F4U performed its initial flight a year later on 24th of June 1942. It was a remarkable achievement for Vought. Compared to land-based counterparts, carrier aircraft are overbuilt and heavier to withstand the extreme stress of deck landings. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today we'll be taking out the Corsair F4U, flying this beautiful plane today. Wonderful gull-wing swept design. Absolutely love this thing. Very fun plane to play. Has a great top speed. Armament is fantastic. 650 cals. Running universal belts. So we're gonna go ahead and climb up here, get some altitude. Speed is this thing's friend. We'll wait and see what we can find. As we continue to climb, we have a couple planes off to our left that we just saw there, P-51 and a P-39? P-39. Yak-9, Yak-7, BF-109, and a Fokker-Wolf. Looks like that P-39 is fairly high. I'm not too terribly worried about it, because we can definitely outrun him. Yes, he's got that big, scary 37 mil in the nose. As long as we keep off his nose, should be perfectly fine. Looks like we have a couple planes lower, I-16 and Yak-7. Yak-7 looks like it's being eaten up. We also have a LA-5 beneath us. Looks like all the Yaks are dropping along with the BF-109s and Fokker-Wolves. So we're going to stay up a little higher and see if we can't take care of this P-51, P-39. Looks like we've got an I-80S. Don't really know what that is. I tried my best to keep up on enemy planes in this battle ranking, which comes in at a beautiful 3. So we're going to keep a little high. So engine's getting a little hot. Higher than the P-39, which is what we want, especially at this altitude. He will be struggling. Looks like he is coming my way, along with that P-51's also struggling to keep his altitude up here. We do have a couple friendlies, so we're going to go ahead and start moving in. A P-80 shouldn't have any problems at this altitude, but with how thin the air is up here, those radial engine aircraft will be having some issues. Looks like they both went on him. Don't want to get too greedy here. Do definitely want to keep our altitude. He's, going to be bleeding all of his speed, so we're going to go right in for him. And we can just swing in right behind him and lay beautiful shots right into him. Since he's going to dive, we're going to go ahead and pull up. Keep an eye on him. Looks like both those drop down. So we will go ahead and go after this P-39, considering he's pulling back up. Flaps just for a second. Get that turn. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and pull off. We don't want to get too greedy, especially with the Fokker-Wolf, which we'll actually probably go ahead and drop on. We're going to kill engine speed just for a second, just to drop our rate. We don't want to rip. Do a roll. Come in right behind this guy. A little fast. Take him. Oh! And somehow I clipped my propeller. Shoot. That's not good. We are not really close to anything. No engine, and we were taken out by the Yak-9B. Well, that was unfortunate, but that stuff happens. On to the next one. So unfortunately that last game did not quite go how I was anticipating, and it looks like we did end up striking that aircraft, but what we're going to do here is we're going to kind of peel off to the right and go ahead and climb up, grab some altitude. Engine is already fairly hot because, hey, look at that. Hey, it's sand. It's a desert. It's going to be hot, unfortunately. So we're just going to kind of climb up here. Looks like we already have some enemies spotted. That was very, very quick. So we're going to try to climb up on top of them. Giggity. And get the drop on them. Looks like we do have a bomber way up high. Would be the worst to kind of go for them. We also want to be helping out our team as much as possible. So we're going to try to keep our speed up, continue to climb up, and we will return once we get in some action. Looks like we have pretty much their whole entire team spotted right now. So we are going to start picking them off one by one here. We do have that bomber above us, but we're not going to really worry about it because we do want to get in here and help our team out, since it looks like we're currently outnumbered. So, in picking my target, everyone's pretty much the same altitude except for that BF-110, which is actually above me. I'm going to keep my eye on him to make sure he doesn't dive on me, but I am going to go for this RE-2000. See if he noses up at me. Doesn't look like it. So pretty much what we're going to be doing is flipping down and around here. Cutting engine because he's going to roll. And we're going to come right in here. Beautiful shots. Flip around to this type. Whoa, pull up, full engine power. Flip around, try not to black out. More hits on him. We're gonna roll down and around, keep that speed up, stay underneath him. Did get a hit on us. Looks like he is going to be losing his air power here soon. Missed my shots. Go figure. Cut it in. Oh, hello. That was the ground. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what's not to do. Didn't realize I was so slow on speed. Ended up crashing. And he survived. Unfortunately. On to the next one. Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, jumping into our third and final match. Hopefully we can actually make some stuff happen and not stupidly crash, well, into another plane and or ground. Am I the best at Warthunder? By no means. Am I here to hopefully bring you entertainment and laughs? Absolutely. Bobbing my head like a machinima. Haha. Let's climb up and get in some action. I guess while we have a little bit of time to climb here, I will discuss with you all who do decide to watch my videos. My future plan for this channel is going to be primarily Warthunder. I will be switching to playing some ground here in the near future, probably a couple of weeks. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue to do the history segments at the beginning of this video. Please feel free to let me know what you guys are looking for. Did have a couple people who reached out and told me they enjoyed the history aspect of it. Looks like we do have a bomber here. I'm gonna go ahead and go for it. But let me know. Drop a comment beneath and let me know what you guys want. So I am here to pleasure you. Yep, I said it. That's what I'm here for. Severe damage on him. We're gonna go ahead and pull on out of here. Should, in theory, be my kill. Yep, there we are. First kill of the match. Ooh, and look at that beautiful sunshine. Go ahead and try to go get some altitude. Drop our engine a little bit, cool it off. Forgot we were wepping so hard. A lot of enemies up there. So we'll make a turn to kind of start heading actually towards the enemy airfield, which I am blind. Ah, there it is. To catch whoever decides to turn around and go back to the airfield. Looks like all the enemies are dropping in. Don't really have the speed I want. Looks like everyone's flying the exact same plane. Or close to it, jeez. Well, I'll go ahead and make my way in here and see if we can't help out our fellow teammates. So if I'm not mistaken, that's pretty much all of them. Enemies, that is. Well, and our teammates. So we're gonna go hopefully help out this F2A here. It's getting double teamed. Gain some of this much needed speed. People turning around here. Don't necessarily want to go. Yep, I'm gonna try to grab this guy coming in reverse here. Unless our teammate knocks him out. We're gonna go for this easy kill. Aircraft. He landed. So we're gonna come in here. Up and around. Hopefully. Oh, he died. Flip up and over. Pop flaps. Swing around here. Get some good hits. Swing around again. Pop flaps. At the top. You should not be able to get shots on me. We're gonna use our engine speed. Go a little faster here. Should be able to outrun him. Do have that BF-109. We'll pop up. Give him a piece of our mind. Ahead and roll right back down on top of him. He's gonna turn perfectly in here. We're gonna lead. Oh. Grab that speed again. Looks like enemies are just AI. So we're gonna go try to hunt down. How many kills we got? 3 kills so far. So that means, I believe, we got everyone that we attacked. So we're going to go ahead and make our way over to the point here. Aha! Enemy trying to go back to base. Keep an eye on him. Fuel, we've got 8 minutes on. MG's still got 1,000 rounds. Doing pretty good on that. Have not taken any major damage. We're just gonna kind of putt our way over here, keeping an eye on how close we are to their base. Yeah, pretty close. So, just to make sure we don't get completely lit up by their anti-air, we are gonna go ahead and pull off of him. play it safe. I'm glad I did. Because yes, there's another enemy plane I did not see. Looks like he's just focusing on our AI. I'm gonna come in for him. Looks like they only have 2 guys left, so since we do see them, I'm gonna be a little careful here. Do I think I could take him on a head-on? More than likely. Want to be cautious. I'll let some rounds fly in his direction. Pull down. Oh, and he's able to clip my wing. That is unfortunate. Did not think he had cannons. Alright then. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the plane. We ended up having a nice final game. 3 kills. Overall, a fantastic plane. If you know how to use it. I'm still a little rusty on it. I haven't used it in quite some time. But it does excel at turn fighting if you have your speed up. If you do not have your speed up, you do tend to stall quite easily, but you're able to use those flaps at the apex of your turn, coming up and around on people to really be able to get your nose down and around and able to get those rounds off. Thank you to those who stuck around to watch to the end of the video. If you enjoyed this content, please consider liking and subscribing. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you.